Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery's saved and the snow falls smoothly.
All right, we are back. It's Heather and Darius with another episode of 12 Days of Ugly Sweaters and Christmas Movie Tropes. And today we are reviewing from the 2025 Hallmark Christmas movie season, The Snow Must Go On. Thankfully, this was a much better watch than our last review. Lots of fun in this one. Darius, what was your favorite part about it?
Favorite part about it, to be honest, it was the opening scene because I'm a fan of the old show, the sitcom Will and Grace. And on that show is Jack, who is always trying to be famous and doing his one man show. That was the opener for me that immediately had me smiling and ready to watch and see what this movie was going to be. So that scene is stuck in my head. So as much as there was other great stuff going on throughout, that just set the tone for me.
Well, the scene is stuck in my head too. Maybe not in the best way because when that scene came on, I was like, "What is going on with this movie? What are they even doing right now? Like, wow, he can really belt it out, but what is the
Yeah.
deal?"
Yeah,
um, it was definitely an opening scene to behold. We'll just
yeah, it
put it
definitely
that
was. Yeah,
way.
yeah,
But moving through, it was definitely a fun watch. Now, there was a moment in this movie though where they first kind of move into this arc of redemption, right? Like we often see with characters that have a change of heart and change of perspective and are
yeah,
getting their priorities in right order, right?
yeah.
But then it's like they would move him 3 steps forward and then jerk him back four, you know? And I was like, if he does not do the right thing at the end of this, I'm giving it a one.
Yeah, yeah. You were trying to be hopeful for him, but at some points it wasn't looking good. It was like, I'm trying to root for you, man, but you're really making it difficult.
So hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
And this was so funny is like the characters in the movie had a whole lot more faith and belief and trust when there was literally no reason for them to.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that was questionable, but it was super entertaining. That actor
It
is
was.
super talented. And like
Yeah,
the way they I mean like they still played it well, even though there were some I don't know, I guess annoyances for me or really it was just the story of like, okay, usually we see this gradual arc of redemption and you see people starting to soften and starting to move,
hmm
and like I said, it was just like a herky jerky kind of like, oh, he'd come this far forward and then fall,
hmm
fall
hmm
back.
hmm
So but all the scenes with the kids where he's helping them and encouraging them in their Christmas show were just awesome. Like there at the end result, the show, the costumes were fun, it was
Yeah.
cool, and and he did, of course, come around in the end like he should have. But what was your favorite part of this one?
I would just say not a part of the movie itself, but just the nod to movies that we've always loved, like Sister Act. Those types of movies that we grew up with that had a great ensemble cast and had a lot of youth in it. Um, and then you see how the adults work with the youth and how they inspire each other because there were times that the youth become discouraged and the adults encourage them, and then vice versa. And so that overall was the good thing to me. I've told you in reviews before that I'm a big nostalgia guy when it comes to these Christmas movies. And if you can capture me in the nostalgia of it, then I'm a fan of whatever it is, whatever the production is. And to this, I just kept thinking of those old shows where they'd have the montage of kids doing this and, whatever they were trying to accomplish. And it just kept me smiling. And there were so many talented people here. As you said, the main actor himself, the lead, is very talented. He has an amazing voice. And then you've got talented young people. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah. So there was this one moment in the movie that really got me for all the reasons that you just talked about, right? Like
Uh-huh.
the nostalgia, the nod to other shows that have been, classic or traditional. And it was that moment where they go and get the Christmas tree. And she had explained to
Mhm.
him like that they had this tradition of like picking like the worst looking tree on the lot because it's
Yeah.
overlooked and just trying to make it look pretty. And so when they do that and they bring it on the stage and it's looking all scrawny, but they've decorated it, like that was such a nod to Charlie Brown.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And
Yeah.
that just, I mean, like that, be still my heart. I love that. That was probably my
It
favorite thing.
was, yeah, that really was a good part. Yeah, I agree.
And so, I'll tell you, the one moment that didn't ring so plausible for me was when he cast himself as the lead, and not I mean, like I could see it coming from him. That was not the implausible part for me, right? But the
Uh-huh.
fact that, and she did question immediately, like, what in the world are you doing? But the fact that she bought his explanation so easily, that's where I was like, what?
Really?
Your skeptical characters
Yeah.
just bought that, just hook, line, and sinker bought it,
I
Uh,
mean, everybody just loved him and wanted him to be there so much. They needed him. And so it was almost like, okay, whatever we have to deal with to have you here, well, we just want you here. Yeah, so it kind of went along with all of the other stuff that, they just kind of let go. But
yeah,
and the part, and it wasn't a big thing, but his sister is the one that invited him to come and spend Christmas in Hancock, right? Come out of New York City and come
mhm,
to Hancock, wherever that is. I still don't know really where that was, but um, and then it was kind of like she was a forgotten character to me. They did show that it was the neighbor who had a crush on her, but it was like that was it. I do wish there had been, even though the focus, yeah, understandably, is the children and their Christmas show, but I just wanted to see a little something else with the sister since she was the reason that he was even there to
yeah,
begin with. You didn't even really see much in their relationship with each other.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of talk between him and his niece
The niece, yeah.
about the divorce impact on his
Yeah.
sister, but not
Right.
so much with her. Oh, and so okay, this was so funny to me. I don't know if you noticed, and I don't know if it was because we had such a short watch schedule, like from release to when we had to record today, that I
Yeah.
noticed it. But literally every single one of these last four movies we watched was exactly 84 minutes. And I'm like, did we miss this formula? I wonder if all the other movies were 84 minutes. And I
I
did
didn't
go
even
back and
notice.
check, but
Okay, I didn't notice that. They
yeah, they're
probably
all
were.
exactly 84 minutes, which is, I don't know, it's just weird. Now I want to go back and see if literally every
Oh,
single
I'm
one
going to check too. I'm going to check.
has been 84 minutes. So, okay, I think I'm about to shock you because I'm actually going to give this one a 4 on the peppermint
I didn't
swirl
think you
pop.
even had anything above a three there. I didn't think you had even made anything above a three.
Now, come on, I gave the Angel Match movie a 5.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was the only one.
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but
That's
I'm giving
true.
it a 4 because literally, just the level of fun that it had, that a lot of it really was a believable arc in terms of like the type of character, like being so fixated on his past glory of his career. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I think it was pretty plausible for the most part, with the noted exceptions that I mentioned. And
Yeah,
it was just fun. It was just a fun watch with all the
it
kids,
was.
and then him doing the right thing by Miranda at the end, like that. And Miranda is one of the kids in the cast, not the love interest. So
Right.
it was a more important thing. So yeah, it gets a generous 4 from me today.
Wow.
Listen, the reason it didn't stay a 3 is because they worked that Charlie Brown angle in there
And that
so
got you.
seamlessly. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that got me.
Okay. Well, not surprisingly, I am going to match your four. Um, Yeah, I am going to match your four. It has some things in there or didn't have some things that I thought would have just kind of rounded it out a bit more. But just overall, I mean, I was even noticing there at the end when the kids finally did have their show, and I was looking like, wow, they really went all the way with their makeup and stuff. They didn't skimp on that and just, plug a little nose or something. They actually had all the kids made up costumes, props and everything. So it didn't feel like there was any skimping. Everything pretty much took place in the school. rightfully so. Then you had a couple of things outside, like you said, they went to pick the Christmas tree and that type of thing. So we know that they didn't spend a lot on set, but everything they did just drew me in and made it, pretty believable. And again, threw back to things that are classic to us.
Yeah. And it didn't, you're right. It probably wasn't a big budget production, but it didn't feel low budget the way a
Right.
couple of the others have, right?
Exactly.
So even if they were operating with a similar budget, they just managed it much better
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, they really did. They did a great job with this. And again, big nod from me to the lead actor. Whatever else he is in, I've got to find out because he could act and he could sing very well.
Maybe
So
he's really on Broadway. We should check.
he might be, and I think that was another thing, like with his character, artistic people, they have a hard time really just settling onto one thing, and they just still want to be big. They want to be discovered. To me, that was relatable and believable too. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's it for this episode. We've got just two more remaining in this limited run podcast series. But we'll be back tomorrow with one more episode of 12 Days of Ugly Sweaters and Christmas Movie Tropes. Bye.
Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery saved and the snow falls smoothly. Trade the big city rush for a hometown glow. Under mistletoe magic, love will grow.